Okay. Kind of late getting in, but it's whatever. Keep screwing up the schedule. And uh just massively screwing up the schedule. This one, right? Yeah. Perfect. Kind of. Um oh no, hold on. Let's do this cuz we're going to do the box first, yeah. This can be off. Well, I guess we could. Now we'll fix it up different. Let's. I guess I wasn't really ready. Let me see. Cool. Let me get. Why is it not interesting? Very weird. Uh. Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, remove that. Let's try again. What the heck, OBS? Why are you doing this? Dude. Oh, just everything. Never gonna figure this out. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, well, where. Bro. Dude, are you serious right now? Why? Why is it not here? Let me try this. Do I have it on? Okay, there we go. Bro, I'm about to, like. I'm about to make lose it. Where's my hand? Okay, yeah. Yeah, so that's upside down. Whatever. So we have one of these snack boxes. Is that, no, that's like the wrong way. That is completely the wrong way. That's backwards. What the heck? Whatever. It hurts my brain. At least it's the right way up, so you guys can actually look at what it is that I'm looking at, right? Because I've kind of been on like a binge lately of like going completely nuts for some of these like snacks and things like that. And whatever. We'll grab one of these, do this real fast, and do that. But been going pretty ape on it. Also got a fancy drink, which is nice. It's not too bad. Yeah, I don't know where the camera is functionally. So it's facing like way back. Bro. I need to I need to just draw a box on this desk. I really do. I need to just draw a box on the desk to get a better feel of where everything goes. So we're gonna do the unboxing. I'm gonna kind of get into some of these snacks, including my fancy sake that I picked up, which isn't too bad, honestly. Um, it's a nice fancy bottle. Like, this is also completely, totally different kind of packaging than what we would see here in the U.S., and I'm kind of surprised by that. These are actually glass. I don't know if, like, that's glass. Glass. So apparently they sell these like these, so people can just keep reusing them as like actual fancy glassware, which is kind of cool. Like, that's an interesting idea. Let's get into the box though. So a lot of the stuff I've noticed too is like their premise and concept for stuff for snacks is also dramatically different. Now let's move this coffee. Because, like, they'll go pretty nuts in terms of... Oh, holy crap. That's loaded. They will go pretty nuts in terms of things. In terms of, like, texture and flavor and everything else. Whereas, usually for, like, American snacks, especially candy type things and stuff like that, it's literally just like, let's make this as sugary as possible. And then they don't care about, like, the texture. They don't care about any of that. So already, I've got, like, some kind of cookie wafer or something. Not really. Oh, wow. Where the heck is the camera? I really need to get a box. I need a visual box. So already I've got, like, a cookie wafer. There's no cream or anything in it. It's just a wafer. That's probably like cinnamony, I would imagine. Of course, it's Hello Kitty. Why wouldn't it be Hello Kitty? What is this? Pecco gummies. I have no idea. Gummies are nice. Gummies are nice, but I have no idea about that. What the heck is this? Okay, these are like weird dog paws. I have no idea. Again, I have absolutely no idea. A Lottie Pie. So it's a Hello Kitty moon pie. That's totally not weird. I don't know. I'm gonna get into this sake. That really opens weirdly. That's very different. But not bad. That's pretty smooth. That's not bad. So what is this? I don't even know, man. Hey, what's up, faces? Like, I don't even know about this. Dude's got the wacky hairstyle. Is that like their version of a lemon head? I mean, I would imagine it's a... it's definitely some kind of lemon head. A camera dispenser that dispenses candies. Yeah, a pompadour, but it's like... it's a lemon head, right? Like, that's the joke, right? I don't know. These are kind of cool. Cookies? I guess these are cookies? It says it's cookies. It's kind of weird. I have absolutely no idea. Some kind of rabbit cookie candy thing. Yeah. Probably. That's probably why he does look that way. Probably, just like the dog paws, those are just kind of things. More Hello Kitty wafers. What is this? Belty. Well, at least those have like a name in Japan. I haven't really gotten into them. I'm just kind of checking through what I've got so far. So it's gonna kind of just be whatever. I'm gonna go ahead and start trying some of them while we do the commentary for like TCAP stuff. What the heck is... Well, this is Shin-Chan. I know that. I have absolutely no idea what this is. I have no idea. Are these like chocolate, maybe? Some kind of crunchy thing? A lot of it looks pretty good. Like, a lot of the gummy stuff looks decent so far. And then... Because I've gotten one of these before. And it was pretty... Oh. Well, I'm definitely going to be trying that. That's mocha. Mochi. These are usually good. No, dude, like, most of it's usually edible. Or do you mean the Shin-Chan thing in particular? Just because it's Shin-Chan. Oh, I got 2 things of mochi. I think Azuki's the black sesame, isn't it? I can't remember. I think Azuki is black sesame. That one's going to be really good with coffee. Got a lychee soda. It's not bad. Yeah, they're kind of hit and miss sometimes. Sometimes they're, like, really, really good. And other times, other things are just kind of like, eh. But, I mean, like, unlike US-based snacks or other stuff like that, they're at least, like, doing something different in terms of, like, texture, flavor, and everything. Okay, and then the last 2 items I've got milk cookies. So, like the cookies that come out of those tins that everyone's grandma has, which is kind of interesting. Very weird. And egg salted yolk flavor. Salted egg yolk flavor potato chips. Which is nice and puffed up, so none of them are squished. So I guess I'll just start kind of getting into things, and then we'll swap over to kind of begin doing commentary on some of this. Or at least the true crime stuff. I should probably hit this light over here that's killing me. It's straight in my eyes. Definitely need to see about putting down like a tape box on this table so I can better see where the camera goes. So let's get over to that. I think that's... Of course, because I put the background on. Oh. Let's get down. And there we go. Oh, man. I don't know what I should get into. I guess I'll try the lemon head thing, because the lemon pompadour, because that looked pretty cool. It's bound to be pretty good, right? Like, it has to be, considering everything. The sake is at least nice and smooth. That's really good. It was worth it. Oh, no. So this is actually... Let me switch back real quick so I can show you guys. Classically a Japanese thing. Very clearly Japanese thing. Package within a package. Just tons of plastic. It's kind of weird because if this was a US-based candy or anything like that, it would have just been the candy directly in the bag. You know? Let me try this. And then we'll get this started up. What the heck is that? Okay, I guess I'll switch back to show you guys. Maybe I should just do that every time we open up a new thing. So that's very different in terms of things. Like the texture on this candy is not like a lemon head at all. I have no idea what that is. That's very weird. I have no idea. So I don't know if that's gonna be like... Oh. That's like a really sour taffy. That's really chewy, too. Dude, that's so sour. Oh. I mean, it's good, but like... That's such a weird thing. Sour taffy. You definitely wouldn't get that in the US. That's not normal at all. Let me see if I've got my sound settings done properly. Oh. Bro. That's so sour. That was a good flavor, though. Oh, man. Okay. So this is the, I guess the first episode properly of, like, TCAP. It's kind of interesting. Usually I would pull stuff from, like, Joey's TCAP, but this guy had it up, so I guess that's what we'll be doing. The, early on, they didn't actually have access through the police. So, like, most of these guys ended up getting released over and over a handful of times. If I remember, there's one of the dudes, which is John Kennelly, who is literally like a cartoon character. He literally is. And,
how can I help you? You've seen us catching online predators.
What's going on? How'd you have a seat?
Just have a seat. Men going after children over the internet.
And you sent pornographic pictures.
But this time we'll show you things you've never seen.
Okay.
We'll take you behind the scenes of our sting operation.
Wait a minute, so let me get this straight. So they're talking about a meeting?
You'll hear the uncut versions of their story.
Do you do this sort of thing all the time? No.
Their excuses.
The house is for sale. I'm the only guy.
And we'll show you some moments that shocked and surprised even us.
Could you explain yourself?
I'm sorry.
This is Predator Raw.
turn that down a little.
We rent a house. Our people wire it with hidden cameras and microphones. Volunteers from the online watchdog group Averted Justice act as decoys, go into chat
that
rooms
candy
with
is
a
so good, though.
profile that includes
sour
a picture
one?
that's unmistakably
Fantastic.
underage. And they sit and wait. And the next thing you
Like,
know,
it's got a
the
good
guy is
texture and
knocking on
flavor,
our
but
door,
man, it's
trying
so
to have a
sour.
sexual liaison with a
Oh yeah, this is the one that's got the rabbi in it. That's
What's great about going
fantastic.
back to the raw tapes is we can look at things that give us a better idea of how these guys' minds work. Why does a 56-year-old man on his lunch hour walk into a house where he thinks a 13-year-old boy is home alone? How do you get there?
That stuff's nuts.
Initially, you look at
I think
it,
that's also
okay,
part of
we'll
the
take
reason they
some
kind of
this,
disappeared
this
some of these
guy,
early
this and
episodes.
that guy, we only have an hour. This.
Because it wasn't just because they were catching so many people, and then they also had to end up releasing them, and then that creates like a safety problem. But also just because there's a social perception of various things of the people that they're grabbing up, because they're not being held accountable.
Is an opportunity.
So they just won't run it on
dig a
television
little
anymore.
To look a little closer and to understand who these guys are. Fairfax.
Oh yeah, this guy. I remember this because I was like, bro, what?
Hello?
Hi.
Hey, hold on a second. I gotta
Dude.
I gotta ask, you still gonna be up for tonight after seeing your girlfriend?
We'll see.
Ugh.
The level of comfort we see by watching these guys before I have.
It's actually kind of like really weird, because you would think that they would be super nervous, but they're not at all, which kind of shows that they're inherently like basically sure of themselves that nothing bad is going to happen, that they're not going to be held accountable, which is really, really not good, because that also means that they've kind of probably have a history of this if they're that confident about it.
Have my interaction says to me they're either very comfortable taking part in this activity, or they've done
Check
it
out
before,
this Hello Kitty
or
wafer.
they've
There's
spent
no
so much
like
time
cream or
chatting
anything on it.
online with someone they think is a teen that they don't believe there's any danger at all. Now, earlier in the chat, he had talked about going out to dinner with his girlfriend and then perhaps coming over to meet the boy after that. And just as he finishes that ha ha ha, he turns around and I walk into the room. And you see this physical reaction.
Nice.
And he knows.
So the Hello Kitty wafer thing is a rice cookie. That's really weird. That's really weird. That also has a completely different texture than I was imagining it would have.
That his life is about to change. So how can I help you? Go ahead, have a
His
seat.
face completely drops. So good. So good.
I suggest you sit down. And take your hands out of your pockets, please.
Yeah, you better. You better take your hands out of
What
your
are you
pockets.
doing?
Not something good.
Why don't you tell me what your plan was?
I don't want to be. This isn't good.
Not good.
Bro, it's such an understatement. It isn't good. That's an understatement.
That's kind of an understatement, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's an understatement.
Can I know who you are, please?
I want to know a little bit more about why you were here first.
I'd like to know. Can I see some identification?
Now, I don't.
I'd like to see some I'm in the middle of committing a crime. Can I see your identification? The stuff from a lot of these guys is always really funny. It's kind of funny because on a certain level, I kind of understand, though, why he's doing that. Is because he's absolutely terrified. Because if Chris was like, I don't have ID, he probably would have tried to run. He probably would have tried to, like, get away or something. Because it's to try. Because usually if it's a police officer, if you confront them, this doesn't mean that they can't lie to you. Okay, don't get confused. Police are allowed to lie to you. They can just be like, no, I'm not a cop. I don't know what you're talking about. But, like, usually if you get caught in the middle of doing a crime and someone confronts you and you're like, hey, are you a police officer? If they want to actually effect an arrest or something without having any kind of issue, usually it would be within their interest to say that they're a police officer. Because certain things, if they haven't documented stuff, it's just going to come down to he said, who said what. So if they beat the crap out of you, like you beat the crap out of them to escape, nothing's been documented. No one. It's just a who said what thing, and then it's just actually in reality an issue of, hey, this person tried to kidnap me, and they're claiming I committed crimes as a justification for it. Which is probably, I don't know if that's the direction that he's trying to go with that. You know? It would be smart. That is a weird effect with coffee. I don't know if I like that. Rice crackers are always okay. That's a sweet rice cracker. It's got a weird texture, though. It's all air puffed up. Like Rice Krispies. I mean, it's not bad. But, like, as soon as the coffee hits it, it just dissolves into nothing. That is nice, though.
I don't want to lie to him, but I don't want to let him know I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC just yet. Well, I'm happy to tell you who I am, but I also want to go over some of this chat log with you. It appears from this that you were setting up a meeting with a 13-year-old boy.
I don't need to say anything. You don't transfer.
Oh yeah, and the other issue too of establishing his identity is because if Chris is a police officer, he's not gonna beat the crap out of him. If Chris is the dad, he might beat the shit out of him. But he's not the dad. That's the other reason of wanting to establish identities of stuff, because a parent is gonna basically throttle you or kill you. If it's a police officer, you're okay.
Detailed story to try to get themselves out of trouble.
Within reason.
This was a guy, Aladdin,
Depending on how upset
who was
they are.
pretty clever. He was going to stick with this story to the bitter end.
I just got the go through my shorts, so I'm gonna change them real fast, okay?
Oh, did they drop the rest of that? Bro, they dropped the rest of... Oh, yeah, because this is for broadcast. This is the broadcasting one. The actual tape, it keeps going on, and the one guy starts begging and things like that. He's like, I'm a rabbi, you can't do this to me. And it's like, why not? Why not? You showed up for it. Why not? Dude, they need to get to John Kennelly.
Good.
We need to...
Why don't you have a seat?
I want
Thank
to
you,
jump to
sir.
that. It's
Nice
so
to meet you.
good.
Nice seeing you.
How are you, sir?
Good, thank you.
It's one of my
What you doing here?
absolute favorites from these earlies.
Just hanging around.
Just hanging.
I'm just hanging around. That's why I walked into your house here, bro. It's just... You walked into someone's house uninvited, as far as, this other dude knows. It's also, like, this kind of stuff, too, is just completely insane. Like, I can't even imagine walking into another person's house, because I think I'm invited, running into someone that I haven't been communicating with, and then, like, them going, hey, what are you doing in here? Like, I would have a complete melt. I would lose my mind. Just immediate anxiety issue. Because, like, I'm from the South. So, like, you go into someone's house, if you haven't been invited, you're going to die.
You around?
Yeah, I know that the house is for sale.
Oh, that this house is for sale.
Yes, yes.
Because that makes sense, right? You just walk into random houses to see if they're for sale?
And what made you thought that this house is for sale?
I heard about it. A friend of mine.
A friend of yours.
Yes.
And what's the friend's name?
Heard it through the grapevine. It's not like there's a process of putting a thing out in front of your house, saying it's an open house, or saying to get a hold of a realtor to schedule an open house to walk through. Like, even in the 90s, that was the standard. So, like, this excuse is super wild. If you tried to put... I think where did they do this? I don't remember. Let me look that up real quick. Yeah, well, I mean, like, obviously, that's something I would love to, like, at some point find out in an interview with, like, Chris Hansen, because he's never brought it up. But, like, there have to have been times during their production where, like, some dude showed up and he had lied about his age. He's actually, like, 17, 16. But he thought saying he was 22 or something would impress the girl, so he lied to her. Like, where's that guy? Because that had to have happened at least once. At least once. Same thing with, like... same thing with, like, some dude who got screwed up direction-wise shows up and it's just like, yo, I'm here. What's going on? And everyone's like, so you're here for this? And he's like, no, Greg sent me. Or, but, like, Greg is a real person. It's not like the usual excuses. It's like an actual mix-up. It had to have happened. I know there was one time where, like, the neighbors at one of the rental houses kept seeing people show up and they called the cops because they were like, bro, the family's on vacation. What's going on? And they reported it. And then the cops had to, like, go over to their house and explain what was happening. And they were like, oh, okay, we don't care then. Because I know that was a thing that happened. I think that was one of the Florida shoots. But, like, you would think you would definitely think that there would have been like a 16-year-old, 17-year-old who's like, "Oh yeah, I'm 22. I'm definitely a grown adult. I'm a, I'm a real grown adult. Don't ask to see my driver's permit." Like, it would have happened. That would totally be typically on color. Let me see. First episode. Was this in 2004? I guess it was.
His name is Hisham.
And what's his phone number?
He has cellular phone 703.
703. Well, why don't I just call him and I can ask him, and maybe we can clear all this
I
up.
don't know exactly
no. I haven't seen
what's
this.
his limits or what.
Oh, this is in
he willing
Virginia.
to pay or what location.
All right, well, let me call Hisham real quick here.
This is not the first episode either, though. That's weird.
And what's your name?
Aladdin.
Aladdin.
If it is the wrong number, it will be 3283.
3283.
Hopefully, yeah.
Okay, well, that first one is Cynthia. It's not Hisham.
Okay,
So let's try the other
Not
one.
going anywhere with that.
42.
Interesting.
83.
I really think I've got this guy figured out. At this point,
Well, he's an idiot.
he's going to start telling the truth. But as you'll see, this isn't over yet. All right, it's Hisham, but he's not picking up his phone.
He's not answering.
Yeah, I got his phone now. So
Yeah,
I just
'cause he
wanna
probably
get the
doesn't
story
exist.
straight then. Hisham, your friend,
Yes.
Not them.
said, "Hey, I know about
Not
this
that
house
even
that's
getting
for
the guy
sale."
on the phone would have
You
mattered.
said, "Oh, friend, I will go look at it for you."
Yes.
Out of friendship.
Yes.
And what do you think of the house?
What did you say?
What do you
It
think
looks
of the
good.
house?
Very nice.
Yeah.
And how many?
It's very
bedrooms?
nice.
4 bedrooms.
How'd you get
Four
inside, bro?
bedroom, 2 bath,
3 baths.
3 bath, 2 full and 1 half.
Yes.
Okay.
Bro.
So, Aladdin, I think now is the
Why are
time
you
for
even
to tell
entertaining
the
this?
truth. Why did you?
Come on, man.
To see what's her name, Sarah.
Sarah.
Yes.
Sometimes, that's all it takes. It's just you call the guy down and he comes clean. So all that other stuff about Hisham and the house and all that, that was all a big fat lie.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how old Sarah is?
No.
Yeah, so that's also the other thing, too, that's kind of implicatively interesting
What is that number?
with a lot of these dudes. Oh, I'm just here to, look at the house. So how old is this person that you are supposed to be meeting, who's supposed to be here, that you shouldn't possibly know because you're not actually here for this? Oh, they're 15. How do you have information about things that you couldn't possibly know if what you're telling me is true to begin with? But they always screw that up. They just kind of fold.
Right there. What does that say?
12.
12.
It kind of makes you realize that
She tells
they
you
have
that
like an
she's
inherent
at a
desire to
summer
tell the
camp.
truth.
I gotta go to a bonfire.
A bonfire.
Bonfire is when you sing around the campfire at a summer camp. You know she's a child.
She told me 18. So. Here it say 12. Yes.
12. You have a nice ass, baby, you ask.
Bro.
She says, I don't know, it's behind me. And you say, I'll tease it with... This can be the point in the interview where, things get heated, but I had no idea about what was going to come next. Then you say, so you won't be shy after a little bit. You say, great, good girl.
A little bit.
He just passes out.
What are you doing?
Just a little bit.
You okay?
Probably because he's having like...
I am fine. Just kind of.
He's either faking it or he's legit having like a freak out where his blood pressure is spiking through the roof.
I mean, imagine looking at this guy and wondering whether he's faking it, or maybe if he's really sick. Do I just end the interview and say, why don't you go on? Or do I continue? He said he was okay. We continued. But does that mean it's right for a 45-year-old man?
No, sir.
And
I am.
for a little while, it goes okay, but, sometimes we can't control these events.
Well, you can definitely control, whether or not something like that's going to happen. Oh, yeah. And I've actually
Would you
got a
like to
proper
leave?
drink.
No, sir. I'm kind of.
I'm not sure how to acknowledge it, though. Sake's pretty good. Oh man, that goes really good with one of those gummies.
I'm shocked.
The,
to be honest
Pecco
with you,
gummy.
sir. I lied about
Peach flavor is
myself,
kinda-
I lied. And I'm not the
The
kind.
peach flavor for that is kind of off, but that's, I don't know. It's not bad. It's not a bad flavor. How do I acknowledge this? I have no idea. Bro, I'm so bad at this. Quick actions? No. Reward request. There we go. There we go. Got it.
Persons.
Nice.
All right, if you're
Still
not feeling
learning
well,
things.
perhaps you should just go.
No, sir, I'm okay.
And of course, you know, this is
I
before
feel
they're
better about myself.
interacting with the police officers. Well, the police. So, like, they would just catch the dudes, document as much as they could, and then release them. Which is so... Dude, that's so skeevy. I don't like that.
Well, before you leave, there's one thing that I need to tell you.
Yes.
You're on candid camera.
I'm Chris Hansen of Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on
He's
computer
just
crime.
sat on the floor.
And if there's anything else you'd like to say, we'd like to hear it. And if not,
Should see about doing, like, full-blown deep dive videos on
Anything
YouTube
against
about
me
each of these
At
dudes.
the moment,
Like, their
For charges?
background, where
Yes.
they're at currently,
No.
what happened to them.
not that I'm aware
I
of.
do apologize, and I promise to be a good man for the
Some of them are
future.
pretty crazy.
And I apologize for the lies. I want to justify the reason for
One of the
my
guys was
here.
basically murdered by his wife, which is insane.
Hello?
I'm still waiting to hear about if there's charges for that or not. Like, if she goes to jail.
Yes, I called by mistake. I had the wrong number. I apologize. Okay. that's
Excuse
not a
me,
problem.
allegedly
I thought
murdered
that
by
was
his
you,
wife.
But it was the other phone number. It was just a very
She murdered him, but-
unusual set of circumstances.
We have-
this
for
could be
legal
one big
reasons.
act. Or the guy could.
For legal reasons, we have to say that he was allegedly murdered.
really need medical attention.
And because of the Hassan standard, we cannot do the whole video. So we'll jump periodically.
I don't know. I'm here to see Brandon.
Not that I think that the guy who posted the video has the ability to sue us, but I know MSNBC might. Because I think they're also a subsidiary of Disney. Disney's very litigious. So
Go ahead, sit down.
Yeah.
we'll jump up every now and then. This is also something else that I've always kind of seized on that several other people have kind of pointed out that's really weird. When you watch these... Bro, let's try one of these sesame mochis. Love sesame mochi. The ice cream one, it's really good, but... Don't know about this. These guys show up, right? So you show up for like a normal date. You would typically try and dress as best as you can. These guys are dressing, going involved with like a situation that's highly criminalistic. You would obviously think that you would be trying to like leave some kind of generally good impression, not be showing up dressed like a complete dork. You know, he's got his shirt tucked into his shorts. He's wearing a belt as well. You know, the hairline. You've got the wristwatch, which doesn't match any of this. You've got like a lime green shirt. Like, what is this fit? You look ridiculous. If you were meeting a woman that's like within your normal age group, you should usually be dressed pretty well. Decently. You know, you would think, I would think, dude's meeting someone who's dramatically outside of his age group. It's a criminal offense. He's planned for criminal activity, and like he's dressed like this. You know, this is also the type of outfit that people tend to notice if you're walking around in a neighborhood and you're not typically supposed to be there. That's what people notice. The bright lime green shirt. Oh, you mean the guy who wore this weird clothing, who walked through
What are you doing here?
the town,
Well, you invited
the
me over to
neighborhood,
see
the
him.
suburb?
Who invited you over?
Brandon.
Brandon. And how old is Brandon?
I don't know. 20s, I think.
20s.
Yeah.
20s.
Bro, if people are asking you what's going on, yeah, like, what is this hairline? But if people are asking you what's going on, and they were there to, like, receive you in the kitchen area and all that stuff like that, they know what's going on. So playing retarded isn't going to work. But I mean, again, a lot of these dudes have also kind of trained on like a behavioral model of like, oh, if I get caught, I'll just blame the kid. Because a lot of them do that. It's really weird.
Who are you?
What age did Brandon tell you he was?
23, I believe.
You want to try again?
No, he said he was 23. What's the problem?
I have the transcript. That's what the problem is. Brandon said he was 13.
13?
13.
No, he didn't.
You are crazy for the Nats?
Yeah.
Bro.
Meaning the baseball team. If you don't see how graphic some of these chats are, then there's
What
a
flavor
tendency
is
to maybe
this?
give these guys the benefit
What is
of the
this?
doubt. Maybe it was his first time. Maybe he was just curious. But when
Azuki.
you read
What is
the
Azuki?
transcript, top to bottom,
Azuki
You know.
Mochi. What is Azuki?
what the intent was, you know what these guys would be doing had
Oh,
there
red bean
been
paste,
a
isn't it?
teenager home alone and not Dateline NBC. What are you looking for? A daddy boyfriend?
Reddish
cool.
brown
I'm 48 though. Is that
legumes.
too old for you? You look like a cute guy, but you're an even cuter girl.
Yeah, it's red
You
bean
like getting
paste.
in the He says, if you love me,
His
I
face
will.
completely falls.
You say it doesn't hurt. And then you go on to talk about oral sex, anal sex, and all the different things that you'd like to do with him.
Complete degenerate.
What are you doing here?
I obviously made a big mistake.
Obviously.
Do you do this sort of thing all the time?
No.
So this is the first time? You know, I hear a lot of that.
Yeah, well, it's true.
It's kind of hard to believe. What do you do for a living?
I teach school.
You teach school. What classes do you teach?
Special education.
So you're a special education teacher.
But he really said he was 23.
I'm looking at the
I deal with
transcript,
retards all
it's
day.
best not to
Bro.
lie, okay? Just
That's
tell
not-
me the truth. You knew he was 13.
No.
He asks you to get pantyhose. There's talk about beer. There's talk about condoms.
Where is...
Did you bring condoms with you? You did.
Yeah.
Set them on the table. What does that say about
The,
your intent?
Well, I always have them with me, but I understand what you're saying.
Intent is critical in proving online solicitation of a minor. So if the decoy says, bring this or bring that, whether it's beer or condoms,
Did I
and
just
the
like
potential
lose the
predator
video?
brings
I don't know.
the items,
What the heck?
it shows intent. So when Stephen Benoff pulls
Yeah,
those
bro.
time lapse
It's
out of his
intent.
pocket and
Intent
puts them
is
on
the name of the
table,
game.
That's evidence. I mean, who shows up at a home where a 13-year-old boy is alone with condoms? Who does that, and why do they do it?
Can you tell me who you are?
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators.
So
And
fine.
if there's anything else you'd like to say?
Dude
you'd
just
like to hear?
immediately leaves.
You
His
never
life
get
is over.
used to seeing a teacher
And basically nothing really
surface
even
in one
happened
of
to
these
him.
investigations, but the very first time, I mean, I was just shaking my head. It's
Okay,
like, how
well,
could
I've got a rip
somebody
of the John
involved
Canelli,
in
so
educating
I guess we
kids,
could
in
use
this
that
case,
if we need to.
special education kids.
Just pull
You know,
that up
even
and
a
do it.
screening, crazy for the Nats, meaning the Nationals, the baseball team, would indicate that he's just a regular guy. You know, teacher taking the
'Cause I
summer
don't
off,
think they have,
50-some
like,
years
the full
old,
clip.
going to baseball games. But here he is inside this house,
Because like
After
some of
a
these
graphic
aren't
chat,
really all that great.
attempting to meet a teenage
Hell yeah,
boy
there we
home
go.
alone for sex.
Yeah, let's just pull up the John Canelli one. Because the John Canelli video is
I mean, it was mind.
phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. Primarily because
The 14.
it's just so off the wall. Yeah, there we go. Because I've ripped some of these to do videos on later. I believe this is from Joey's TCAP, if I remember, but he doesn't seem to have it. I don't know if YouTube is, like, making him pull them down or what.
It is a restaurant where they buy food to eat.
Tell me you've never
But
done
this is,
before?
like, 13 minutes of footage. There's clearly not going to be... ...13 minutes here, and there really isn't. Which is kind of weird. But I guess that's also because they, some of the dudes got access to, like, their actual tapes and then processed stuff.
So you
from that.
just woke up this morning and said, I'm going to get
pretty
involved
cool.
in an internet conversation with a 14-year-old boy. I'm going to go to his house, strip naked, and walk in with a 12-pack of beer. This was just something you thunk up today.
No, sir. I'm going to talk to him about it online.
It's so good. So he walks in.
John Kennelly is a
I'll
guy
let you guys
who,
see. It's just, I
in
can't.
an online
I
chat
just
with someone
can't.
he thought was a young teenage boy, said that he was a teacher at a prestigious
I don't like this
high
red bean
school
paste.
in Virginia. The chat is
I don't like
graphic. At one point, the decoy said something about, what would be really hot, strip down your underwear in the garage and walk
Completely
in.
stripped
Kennelly
down.
says in the chat, I don't wear underwear. Decoy says something to the effect of, well, come in how you are. And we really didn't think he was going to do it. This is our second investigation, and while we'd seen some surprising things, who's going to walk into a stream?
So John Kennelly actually is one of two specialized weirdos that they've ever picked up. He hits two special categories. He's one of the only two dudes to ever be completely butt-ass naked on this show. And then he's also one of only two guys who got caught twice. Absolutely crazy.
Stranger's house naked. Well,
Just walks in, butt-ass naked. It's wild. He's got all this crap, too, that he's carrying around. Yeah, I'm not a fan of red bean paste. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh. Especially if I got all hyped about black sesame. Ugh. So, there's a lot of debate online about what he's doing in this scene. What he's going about doing. In reality, a lot of people are like, oh, he's joiking it. He's doing this, he's doing that. In the chat log, they told him to, like, count down from, like, 100 or something. Just silently. And that they would come up into the kitchen. So that's what he's doing. He's counting down. And it's wild. This is also another thing that completely blows my mind with a lot of the dudes who do stuff like this. Or even just people who meet up online. How do you know who you're meeting up with? How do you know that any of this stuff is, like, legit? How do you know you're not walking into the house of a serial killer? And when you're one of these crazy people who preys on children, how do you know that you're not walking into an abandoned house owned by a serial killer who explicitly and solely targets people who go after children? Because that's also got to be, like, a certain, like, thinking level. Because no one in their right mind is really going to convict someone like that. You know what I mean? No one in their right mind is really going to convict a serial killer who only kills child predators. Come on. But that's what he's doing. He's counting down.
Could you explain yourself?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead and cover up.
Certainly. I'm sorry.
What's going on here?
That would be great.
Your son, I am.
Alien versus... the Alien versus Predator thing. Oh, man. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, I guess.
And he told me to come on over.
He IM'd you.
Yes, sir.
You can sit down. How did he know to IM you?
I don't know, sir, honest.
So he just chose you out of the blue.
This is also the other thing, because he immediately
leans
leans into the, like, let's just blame the kid thing. Which is... A lot of them do that, and it makes me wonder, like, if they've been caught multiple times before, and, like, in real situations, and if that works as a, like, get-out-of-jail-free thing. Because that's super screwed up, if so.
I sat there talking to him for a little bit, yes.
And what'd you guys talk about?
We were just talking about anything, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 29, sir.
29. And what do you do for a living?
I don't think he was 29. Let me... Oh, wait, no, that's Twitch. Because if I remember, he was, like, in his, like, mid to late 30s when they grabbed him. Like, it was bad. Fucking terrible. First encounter. How old was he? I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he was, like, in his 30s. They'll bring it up. They'll bring it up in a minute.
I drive a school bus.
You drive a school bus?
Yes, sir.
He did not drive a school bus. And he is also not a teacher, as he claims. But that's also one of the fundamental reasons, because, like, Chris actually got really screwed up after this. Because he was like, bro, we have to start handing this. And then they caught him a second time literally the next day, within 24 hours. And then following that, because they couldn't verify who this dude was or anything about him, they were just like, bro, no, we're handing stuff off to the police from now on. Absolutely fuck these guys.
And you thought it was appropriate to walk into the home of a 14-year-old
See
boy
what this is.
who you thought was alone.
Check out the Shin Chan stuff.
What was your plan?
I don't know, sir.
I don't know
What's
what
your
my
full
plan
name?
was.
John Canella.
Bro, it's in the chat logs. Your plan is in the chat. What the hell is this? What are these? They're stars. Why are there... What is this? I'm kind of scared because it's Shin-Chan, and he's basically Bart Simpson. But for Japanese people. I mean, these look edible, but, like... Are they poop flavored? Like, what's going on? I don't know. I guess I'll try one, and then we'll get back to this. I don't know. Oh. That's really nice. That's like pleasant. That's like cocoa powder.
And you're a school bus driver or a teacher?
It's not bad.
Teacher.
You're a teacher.
He's not a
Need
teacher.
to see some ID.
Yeah, and then Dell comes up and just steals the pack of beer.
I'm sorry.
I'd like to see some ID.
Which is also funny because this is before they started working with the police. Having incidental evidence like this just disappear or be taken by them, that was totally cool. Which is also hilarious.
Turned out later that he was neither a teacher nor a bus driver. In fact, he was unemployed and had been for some time. What kind of conduct is this for a high school teacher?
None, sir. I've never done this before.
You're going to tell me you've never
I've
done
never
this
done
No,
this.
sir.
So you just woke up this morning and said, I'm going to get involved in an internet conversation with a 14-year-old boy. I'm going to go to his house, strip naked, and walk in with a 12-pack of beer. This was just something you thunk up today.
No, sir. I'm not talking to him about it online.
It's also, sounds even worse. What he's implying sounds even worse than what he's actually even, like, what he's trying to claim that is going on sounds way worse than what he actually did. Because if it was just a super random thing that he's doing, that means he absolutely cannot be out in public under any circumstances. Because he's completely unsafe as a human being. These are things, though, that he was actively going out of his way to do, though. And had been planning on doing. And like with a peeping Tom, it's like a slow escalation behavior. Because they push to see what they can get away with over and over and over. Until They either finally hit a point where, like, someone kills them, they go to prison, or something crazy happens. Because that's usually how it goes for a lot of these guys.
See how this looks, John? Yes, sir.
Let me just see the driver's license.
I'm sorry, sir.
I'm sorry, doesn't matter. What would have happened? What would have happened, John, if I wasn't here?
I don't
I probably
know.
would have chickened out, sir.
Chickened out.
I would have chickened out. Except he's inside the house naked. He's also shaking, which is pretty funny. And I think it's also because he doesn't realize that Chris isn't the dad or a police officer. So he thinks he's completely screwed.
Do you see why that is hard for me to believe?
It's like a pressed Coco star.
You say to him,
That's not
are you
bad.
straight, bi, or gay? He says gay. I just don't tell anyone. You say sweet. I won't, I promise. You say you are so effing hot, bro. I want to be your boyfriend if you will have me. I'm serious.
I was just chatting. I was just...
Chatting? You're sitting in this kitchen naked.
I was just chatting,
John.
bro.
That's a step beyond chatting, isn't it?
He even had to give you a
Yes, sir.
towel. He's shaking.
I don't want to get you in trouble, bro.
He's real
I
shaking.
also don't want to get me in trouble
It's funny.
either. You knew this was wrong when you walked in.
Yes, sir.
I think I can learn real fast to love you.
So gross.
14 years old.
It's so gross.
You know that it's illegal to have a conversation on the internet with the intent to have sex with a minor.
Yes, sir, I did.
So you came here knowingly violating the law. Kennelly was significant because not only did he admit what he was doing was wrong, he also admits that he knew it was illegal, and he showed up anyway. What do you think should happen to you?
I don't know, sir.
Well, there's something you gotta know.
Oh, yeah, that's also, like,
I am
one of
not-
those good, like, super rigged questions they always ask. What do you think should happen to you? They ask that because it's basically a rigged question. It's such a good question, though, because it's super fair. Because if they go completely balls to the wall on it, where they're like, I should be thrown into an alligator pit and executed and burn my corpse alive and blah, 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 and just go completely ape, they're basically admitting that, yeah, you caught me, I did the thing. If they... or they'll go the opposite direction and just be like, oh, I don't know. They'll usually say, I don't know. I don't know what should happen. Because they don't want to necessarily verbalize a concept of any kind of general punishment on themselves. So they'll either be like super productive and dramatic, overproductive and dramatic about it, or they'll be like really hard distancing on it of like, I don't know.
But I am Chris Hansen of Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on computer predators. Anything else you'd like to say to us? We'd like to hear it. If not, you're free to leave.
Thank you.
You're free to
Take
leave.
the towel to the garage.
Unfortunately. You better leave that towel.
He sees the cameras. He's trying
Leaves
to keep
out
the
of there.
towel up around him. He's trying to
Struggling
grab
with his crappy clothes.
and head out the door, and he gets his underwear on and just beelines to get out of there. If he had just left it at that, you know, Kennelly would have been a memorable character, but what he did the next day just put him over the top.
Oh, yeah. Because he shows up the next day.
Less than
So good.
24 hours later, he's back in a chat room. I have been in television for 24 years.
I'm just trying to get something to eat.
John,
I'm just trying to get something to eat.
wait a minute, so let me get this straight. So they're talking about a meeting?
Nobody has ever gone through what that
So
man went through
retarded.
when he got to this house.
This is also
But
how you
now
know
this
that John
is just
Kennelly is
amazing.
like
This guy
room temp IQ.
leaves our house.
And that he's also too dangerous to be
Shirtless,
running
holding
around
most
in
of
modern
his clothes.
society. But for some
And less
reason,
than 24
multiple
hours later,
judges, multiple people
there
have
he
gone
is
out of their
in a
way
chat room, trying to make a date
to
with
advocate for
another
this guy to
young
make sure that he
teenage
could
boy.
still be out on the
We
street.
couldn't believe it.
It
but
kinda
was the
goes
same
into
street
a,
name, same everything. So
An
did he
interesting principle that's kind of been shown a couple of times, where if you just go after like the most heinous criminals imaginable, Just a couple of them. Like it's like less than 10% of actual criminals who are constantly going to jail. But if you just actually go after those guys real hard and then throw them away or get rid of them, like 90% of your crime just evaporates overnight. And it's not because people are suddenly scared to commit crime. It's because that one idiot was the one committing the majority of crime. Like, they just literally cannot exist in society. They shouldn't exist in society. It's kind of like, I think Asmongold, like, had a thing about that where he was like, yeah, let's just get 2%. Let's put 2% of the population in prison permanently. And it was like let's do something a little bit more nuanced. Like, figure out the specific people who are, you know, the constant criminal, and then just throw them in prison forever. Or just, you know, liquidate them.
I made a date, and they agreed to meet.
Because I would say
at
once
a
you're
nearby
too
fast food
expensive,
restaurant. We move
continuing
into
to feed you and clothe you in
walks out of the
prison is just a joke.
and we're there
We
with
should just get rid of you.
I remember exactly what I said.
I have been in television for 24 years,
I just came to get something to eat.
and I have very seldom been at a loss for words.
Try
Sir,
out
I
these
just
milk
can't-
But I
cookies.
don't even know what to ask you first.
I just came to get something to eat.
And of course, you know, he's dressed like a complete slob. I mean, it's McDonald's, but this is a McDonald's in the 90s. Okay? They were a real restaurant back then. That was a real restaurant. That was a real restaurant. It's like going to McDonald's in Japan or like Korea or something. That's a real restaurant. It's not like how it is in the U.S. right now. All right? This is back when the U.S. was a real country. When the United States was a real nation. But, you know, it was a real restaurant. He shows up to a real restaurant dressed like a complete slob, trying to meet up with an underage person there, a kid. He's just a complete slob. That's also the other thing, too, that should have kind of clued them in. It's the middle of the day. He should, if he's allegedly a teacher, why isn't he at work? You know, what's going on?
Don, we've been through this before. What are you doing? I've got the chat log again.
Oh, yeah, and that face. Anyone who's ever had to, like, deal with, like, actual reasonably low IQ people, you've literally seen this exact face. I've seen this exact face. People will sit there, do something retarded directly in front of you. You'll catch them. You'll point out to the low IQ person, hey, I literally just saw you do that. I literally just saw you do the thing. And they will make, instead of actually, like, rebutting or offering an explanation or anything, they'll just literally make this face. They'll literally just make this face for you. And they're like that's a response. Yeah, these are literally just miniaturized the sewing kit cookies. But tiny. Bro. Oh, they're perfect. Those are perfect. That's like just getting slapped in the face with like grandma nostalgia. That's so good.
15-year-old kid, and you're going to meet him here at McDonald's. You identify yourself. You call yourself Shane this time. You ask him a series of personal sexual...
Less than 24 hours, too. That's also how you know that he's incredibly low IQ. You got caught doing something you're not supposed to do. That could be a very serious crime. That could get you put in prison for anywhere from like 5 to 20-something years. Where if you were killed during that prison stint, or even as a result of like the in-processing while you're awaiting trial, no one will feel bad for you. No one's going to advocate you. Nothing will happen for you. You basically got a get out of jail free card. Okay, you walk home half naked, and you immediately get back on your computer and begin looking for another kid. This is also how we know as a society that like these guys have got to go. They have to go. They can't be redeemed. They can't be fixed. You can't correct them. You just got to liquidate them. You have to. Because a normal person, you know, you get a parking ticket. Mentally, you make an assent that I'm going to do whatever it takes to not put myself in this position ever again. For a parking ticket? What is that? Somebody's done something. I don't know what that is. I mean, I guess, yeah, sure, if you want to. We'll get into that once we, finish this one. Oh, yeah. That stuff, I kind of forget what kind of noises it makes whenever it does stuff. And I also don't have my, my overlay up, which is why I didn't see it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Civil War stuff is getting kind of nuts. That's kind of crazy. Because, I think it's also the biggest one that they've ever, acknowledged or seen online. Ever so far. Because the last time it was just, 20 of them fighting each other.
Questions. Is that appropriate talk to be having with someone you think is a 13-year-old boy? No. Last night, you walked into a home naked, hoping to meet a 13-year-old. You said you were sorry. It was the first time you'd ever done it. You admitted it was wrong.
Yes, I did.
You left.
Yes, I did, sir.
And within 24 hours, you're back on the internet chatting up another 13-year-old kid? What is going on? What do you have to say for yourself?
I don't have anything to say for myself.
Well, you should say something, don't you think? I mean, what are we to think you're going to do next? Last night, you walk into a house in suburban Washington, naked, with a 12-pack of beer, hoping to meet a 13-year-old boy. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think it was the Gombe one that only had 20 people. Well, 20 bodies in it. And then she was traumatized for life after that about it. This one's 200 or something. It's a huge amount of chimps. And they just split and have gone completely nuts. Well, I mean, at least for Chris Hansen, he got caught twice within a 24-hour period of time, which is insane. But this is early on, so they weren't handing stuff off to the police. John Connelly is actually the reason they hand stuff off to the police currently. Oh yeah, man. Just I guess throw the link down. I'll jump onto it once I finish this. This should be pretty interesting. Cuz a lot of it's nuts. Just everything involved with the Civil War stuff is insane.
You're on the internet again. You have an inappropriate conversation with a boy you think is 13, and you set up a meeting here at this fast food restaurant. What was your intention?
I don't know.
This fast food restaurant. So that's actually really funny. For dudes, yeah, he won't say McDonald's. So later on though, TCAP and Chris Hansen gets in trouble with Mike's Hard Lemonade because they would explicitly ask for that. And because Mike's Hard Lemonade, well, because preteens aren't going to be liable to drink hard liquor or beer, but they will drink a Mike's Hard Lemonade. But Mike's is so instantaneously recognizable because nothing looks like it. So they're constantly showing up with that. They caused actual brand damage for Mike's for a little bit, which is hilarious. But he won't say McDonald's this early on because he's worried about it. Oh, man. Before he got fired for not showing up? Oh, I haven't heard about that. That sounds crazy.
Don't you think you need some help?
And then it zooms back in on that stupid face again. Oh, man.
Do you see why I was skeptical last night when you said...
When you get those...
No, I can't, John. I can't do that. That's their job, is to record video and audio. Now, you put yourself...
Oh, yeah, and this is before the whole we can't turn off the cameras, it's a safety thing spiel. That's such a good spiel, too.
In this position. So don't get tough with that. Do you see why I was skeptical last night when you said it was the very first time you'd ever done something like that?
Not really. I mean,
It was, though.
he could literally just walk back into the building. He can do whatever he wants. They're just primarily just being kind of pushy. Because, like, at no point does he try to get past them. He's just kind of standing in front of them. And he's just being really aggressive about the camera
How
work.
do we know that you're not going to go out tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day and do this again?
If they physically constrained him, then it would be an issue.
You see something so extreme, a guy show up naked and then come back the next day, you realize...
Shows up
and you
naked.
get a
It still
better
blows my mind that he did that.
of how strong these addictions, these compulsions...
Dude, they even still kind of occasionally will do like weird psychological things, even in his like more recent stuff. Because like they've got these big boom attachments to kind of replicate the old 90s like boom cameras that they would run out at dudes with. And even in like the 2010s and stuff like that, when they were doing other stuff, they would use the giant cameras because it freaks people out. He's on, oh, what is this called?
We usually explain...
I have True Blue. Let me see. I'll throw a link down. Yeah. So it's just called like Chris Hansen Versus, but it's on True Blue. I'll throw a YouTube link into chat for you guys. It's so good though. Like, some of that stuff's way more extreme because he's basically partnered off with, like, an actual police group that's actively doing it. So they're going completely, like, after some of the worst people imaginable. It's so good. And then I think they've been doing that lately where they've got, like, weird attachments. So they're full digital cameras, right? But they've got, like, these weird cardboard box attachment things slapped on the front of them to make them look huge. Because they know it freaks people out.
Can be. And they develop
so good.
online. First, perhaps porn sites, chat rooms. But ultimately, that isn't enough to satisfy some of these guys. And that's when you see them, I think, take these extreme measures and risk so much to actually have a face-to-face meeting. What are you going to do?
It's still great, though.
Psychiatrist.
How long have you been seeing a psychiatrist?
A little over a year.
A little over a year? And why were you seeing him?
Because I had a family breakdown.
Meaning what exactly?
I had a death in my family, and I never handled it well.
And is that what you?
I mean, like to a certain degree, because like
I'm guessing, yeah.
That sounds like a cop.
Some of the dudes, though, it's pretty bad. Like, they usually will kind of, like, pause on some of it. Or do you mean, like, the, I don't know, because there's, like, the one guy who got tased. He had that coming. He had it coming so bad. But, like, yeah, like, the whole situation's not great. But at a certain point, like, someone has to actually go through and begin kind of, like, cataloging a bunch of these dudes. Because they're just everywhere. And nothing is actively being done about it. Because you also have, like, the nonsense that happened in Texas where that attorney general decided that instead of just handing himself off, he would shoot himself. And then because of that, they killed off the TV show for a while. And all the outrage was about the fact that people were like, oh, well, you entrapped him. And it's just like, bro, the dude is a big name attorney general. How many times has he been running around doing stuff like this? Crime doesn't just, it doesn't just appear and happen. Certain behavioral crimes like this, people have to escalate up to it. So that guy who was an attorney general was routinely engaging in this kind of behavior and just hadn't been caught until that point. And then decided to be extreme about what was going to happen as a response. That's not really Chris Hansen's fault. So I can kind of understand, especially with there have been a couple dudes that they've had on where you kind of feel bad for them because you can kind of tell that they're just retarded. They're just really stupid. But at the same time, it's like, bro, they made a decision. Yeah, it's kind of like the drunk driving thing.
But it's not.
There's a certain point where they made a decision.
You really did meet a 13-year-old
It's
boy.
just kind of on them.
What happened? I don't know. I don't know. It's illegal to have.
Or with John Kennelly here, where he's been caught twice in 24 hours. He knows it's not okay. He just doesn't care, and he's not smart enough to realize that he'll get caught. Yeah.
A talk on the internet with a minor with intent to have sex with that minor. You've done it twice in 2 days.
So dangerous, man.
That's a federal offense. You can go to prison for it. Do you know that?
Yes. He definitely does, because
do it?
When he got caught the first time, he was freaking out. Because he's on camera, he's shaking, you can tell by the sound of his voice. He knows that it's wrong. He just doesn't care about the consequences because he doesn't think he's going to get caught. Because that's actually the problem with some of these guys. They do have a concept of right and wrong, but where their stupidity is winning in is that they don't think that they will ever be caught or held accountable. So the way that Chris had screwed up is because, at least early on, these early episodes, before they were handing stuff off to the police, there were no natural consequences. So John got home and was like, well, I'm cool. Everything's good. I can just go back to this. Because when you hit a certain level of stupid, dudes don't think about consequences as a thing. It's a situation that exists for a different person that isn't them. Because the person that's them in the future is not them currently. Well, because the consequences aren't real to them until it's actively happening. The consequences of the action aren't a real thing until it's actively occurring. Because the future idea of a bad thing happening is happening to a different person that's not them. That's future them. Future them is not them currently, so they don't care. They're just like, no, dude, this is cool. This is how you end up with the dudes who are like, I'm just going to shove my fist into a beehive and everything will be fine. I'm strong enough, I can handle it. And then they do it and they're like, why did I do that? It's because they literally cannot conceptualize future consequences. It's actually part of there was a study that was done and then immediately shut down. Yeah. Or like that. There was a study that was done about in California for low IQ inmates. They basically found that a lot of them tested as if they were psychopaths, but they were not actually psychopathic. Having a certain IQ level, if your IQ isn't over a certain value, you will behave as if you're psychopathic because you literally are not capable of understanding consequences for future you, because that's a different person from you, effectively. And then you also aren't capable of understanding empathy. So you don't care about how it feels for someone else when you hurt them or do something ridiculous. And it's incredibly massive. Like, that's a massively important study. And, the scientific, the behavioral and scientific community for psychology and stuff, they just don't care. Because there are secondhand consequences to actually acknowledging something like that they don't want to have to deal with.
That I need help, and that's what I'm seeing a psychiatrist for.
And you're going to find help here at McDonald's?
No.
You're going to find help from a 13-year-old boy?
No.
Experts in the field, after hearing all this, are going to likely suggest that last night wasn't your first time and today isn't your second time, that you've been doing this for a very long time, John.
Well, somewhat. Like, things that don't actually matter, it's fine to just kind of, detach from and just be like, hey, I don't need to stress about this because it's just going to cause anxiety for no reason. But, when it's something that's like this or, a serious issue, should probably pay attention to it.
No, I haven't.
Do you understand why that's hard for me to believe?
Don't shove body parts into
I mean, is there any reason for us to think that you won't just go ahead and do this again tomorrow?
I got 2 appointments with my psychiatrist tomorrow.
I've got 2 appointments with a psychiatrist.
You don't seem that busy today.
That's why I'm going to go home and call him.
But a psychiatrist isn't going to hold you accountable.
You consider yourself a predator?
I don't know.
And, just like with the what do you think should happen to you question, you'll get a non-committal response because they don't want to have to hold themselves accountable. It's always nuts. No, because the behavioral drive that drives it doesn't go away. You literally have to, segregate these people. It's literally the only thing that can be done. And even if they're segregated, they'll continue to try and enact some of those behaviors on other individuals within those groups. That's also why we had to have all sorts of crazy prison reforms to make sure that the different inmates weren't trying to rape each other and stuff constantly. And it's really bad. That's also part of why that's a thing.
You don't know. Is there anything else you want to say?
You can't just castrate them chemically or anything. The behavioral drive that causes the problem stays. Oh yeah, his freaking shoes. His freaking shoes, man. This is such a big deal. And a lot of dudes don't No, it's worse than that. It's not just that he can't tie them. It's that he didn't. So that's actually a huge indication that he's mentally. Oh, I hate this camera. When they filmed everything with potatoes back in the day, he's mentally disorganized, which also means he's incredibly dangerous, insanely dangerous. Because it's not just the one shoe. The shoe came untied. Both of them are untied. He just kind of slapped them on. It's a mental disorganization thing. All of his fundamental priorities and everything are jacked. I mean, yeah, a lot of people do that because it's just easier to deal with. But this is a different thing. Because when you find mentally disorganized people like this, they are incredibly dangerous. Because they'll put on socks. They have weird priority concept issues and things like that. These are the dudes who oh man, what's a great example? A great way to explain this. These are the dudes. I mean that's actually kind of extreme. I guess that would work though. These are the dudes where they would have there's a psychology question for it where you've got dudes who you'll ask them as part of a screening thing to determine if they're disorganized in their thinking or things like that. So you have a bathtub full of water. You have a bucket and you have a spoon. how should you empty the bathtub? Anyone answering anything other than the most obvious answer, which is the correct answer, probably suffers from a level of disorganized thinking. That one's a little bit more extreme. That's like where you have someone who is disorganized and you're trying to demonstrate that to them by pointing out, yeah, you are getting tricked. You have a bathtub. I didn't say it was drained. Yeah, you just pull out the plug and it'll drain. You don't use the... But your brain, because you're not thinking properly. I never said it was plugged. There's other things like that, though, where you end up... Like, these are the dudes who would, in terms of, like, trying to cook something, they put a priority on whether or not they have, like, mayonnaise or something for using as a condiment, but then they don't care that, like, the oven does not work at all. And they'll just still go about trying to cook something. Just something insane. Like, they're just completely and utterly disorganized in how they're going about stuff. And the untied shoes is definitely a sign of that, because this is incredibly bad. And then on top of that, he's in the middle of trying to commit a crime. He may have to run away. He may have to do something. And he didn't tie his shoes. What if you have to run? I think that's also just because it's like a weird habit with a lot of these guys. They end up doing that inadvertently.
And he walks off, shoes untied.
Like having their hair cut down like that.
And drives off. And I'm thinking...
Because it's the only way. Because otherwise they would just look like trash.
What I've just seen. When we started these investigations, you know, the goal was to understand what goes on in these guys'
I can't preview it because it's
that makes them
video playback. I'm dumb.
It's okay to show up at a house where a young teen is alone and try to have a sexual relationship. After you talk to a guy like Kennelly, you have a better understanding of the addictive nature.
Like, I'm kind of moderate on some things,
of the internet,
but over time, after
some of these guys develop, but it also makes you wonder how you deal with it.
Yeah, he's always had good hair.
And so while it answers some questions,
like, I'm kind of moderate on some things, but like after having worked around jail stuff and things like that, I've kind of gotten to a point where, like, I've basically hit a point where I'm like, nah, there's no way. There's no way to rehabilitate some of these dudes, because, like, once you actually have to, like, deal with them directly, and you start seeing some of the, like, crazy stuff that they engage in, and the behavior that they've got, they go like, you get to a point where you're just like, there's no way, bro. You can't fix that. Let's see. After his second confrontation, police raided Kennelly's apartment and removed his computer. Yeah, because so when the episode ended, Chris was actually really shaken up by it and was like, bro, we can't do this. We're handing this off to the police. I don't care if the network fires me, because he just was not okay with it. You basically have to just put them in a box and leave them there, but personally, after a certain point, if they can't even behave themselves in that box, I would say it's too costly for everybody. You know, it's just kind of ridiculous. It's just not a good situation. He was arrested by Fairfax County and charged by the Commonwealth with 1 count of use of a communication device to facilitate certain offenses involving children, which is also improper because they caught him twice. Yeah. Well, you would think that, but like it's not about children necessarily. It's about them basically being like deranged degenerates and going after anyone that they think is weaker or less capable than themselves. That's why they do that. Class 5 felony, 10 years in prison, sent to go on trial before a jury before he changed his plea to guilty on an initial felony charge he was facing. So they gave him a plea deal, which is BS. Langhorne Keith sentenced Kennelly to a suspended 2-year prison sentence, which is bull. 3 years of probation, which is actually in some ways way worse than prison. Registration as a Tier 1 sex offender. I have no idea what that means. He went on a list. Prohibited him from accessing any online chat rooms. I can almost guarantee you he's on Facebook. He's on Twitter. He's on something that has technically chat rooms. Ian Huntley. Oh, yeah. I need to actually reread about that because it's been a while. I recognize the name of the Soham stuff, but like... I don't remember properly because like there's just so much stuff. Yeah. But this is also why, because like with most of these dudes... Oh, yeah, that guy. But this is also, that kind of stuff, but this kind of stuff too is also why I'm just like, let's put them in a box and keep them there. Because, I mean, we have the video evidence from the episode. Within 24 hours, gets caught immediately. He probably wouldn't have gotten in trouble functionally. Wouldn't have been reported, but immediately within 24 hours did it again. 2007, so this is after his suspended sentence. He's on probation. Immediately begins harassing two 15-year-old girls, you know. Exposed himself, so that's already a felony. Disappeared in the nearby woods. Was charged with 2 counts of indecent exposure. Did they keep him, or I don't remember. Did a year in prison for the incident. He should have... So he's still within his probation. He should have went back and then been properly forced to be in jail. Well, prison for the other previous charge because he violated his probation. Many as 6 other indecent exposure incidents with victims all female, aged anywhere from 15 and 45. So I guess he changed his victim profile from being teen boys to being women. That's kind of... But because it comes down to, you know, who's powerless, who can I take advantage of? Oh, man. That's not good. Oh, bro. That's not good. He might have... that might be, like, actual psychological issues, maybe. That's kind of scary. Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, wait, no, because Kennelly wasn't one of the ones he called. He tried to call him. I remember that. That was funny, though, because there was, like, a bit recently where Chris Hansen was calling some of the dudes he had arrested to check up on them, and, like, one of the dudes sounded like he was about to cry. Yeah, he probably had a mental break, because it's not good. Yeah, the community has claimed Kennelly is under their protection, which is incredibly horrifying to think about. Because a lot of these dudes just kind of get to a point where they make friends with people and then use it as a means of having excuses. Okay, well, this is going to be interesting because I haven't reviewed it. I have no idea. Ugh. It's kind of dry.
Explain war in a very specific way. Religion, politics, identity. We look for reasons people can point to, but conflicts don't always begin that neatly.
Oh, this is pretty
Sometimes
good.
a group simply stops feeling like one group. Relationships weaken. Alliances shift, tension builds, and then violence arrives. A long-studied community in Uganda split apart.
Oh yeah, no, it's...
and then started killing itself.
It's not a big deal.
This
like,
wasn't a human
This is
war.
actually something I was wanting to try and look up later anyway for myself. Just because it's kind of interesting as a thing. Oh yeah, they started giving them names and stuff to like keep track of the dudes.
A single social system. Around 200 individuals. One of the largest chimpanzee groups ever observed. Chimpanzees don't live in fixed units. They use a fission-fusion system. They separate into smaller parties, then come back together. At this site, that still formed one
not this time.
community.
This time they're splitting apart
regularly. Social ties extended across the whole group. That held until around 2015.
For a long time, I thought chimps were like us, but nicer. And I realized they too have a dark,
well, man, that's chimp racism.
Side.
You got.
So when you start seeing so many human characteristics in the chimps, like the gentle maternal behavior, the long-term bond with the mother, this desire
they do
for
actually kind of
tend
to look pretty similar.
Very human characteristics.
Unless they've got like
and
really
they have
noticeable features on their face and stuff like that.
Aggressive behavior.
Before you found out about the dark side, do you think?
Yeah, because Goodall was like
their behavior,
traumatized
nicer than us.
From like the little tiny baby horror that she saw.
Two clusters encountered each other.
This is like 200 dudes all fighting each other, which is nuts.
After that, they began avoiding each other.
Like one of the largest
colonies. We used to think it was only humans who waged war, but we find that chimpanzees, like humans, have this rather unpleasant ability to create an in-group and an out-group.
You sort of broke our hearts. Infanticide, warfare, all the terrible things that we also hoped were only uniquely ours.
Well, don't say I broke your hearts, they broke mine.
The split developed gradually. There was no single trigger. Several pressures aligned. The group had grown unusually large. Adult males that linked different parts of the group died.
Bro.
The dominance hierarchy shifted. A respiratory outbreak disrupted remaining connections.
They're also incredibly scary as like an animal. Because they are like 4 times stronger than a human being could ever be. Because of their muscle fibers. And it's like they could just rip you apart. And that's usually how they also kill each other. They just grab on each other and just start ripping chunks of their bodies off of each other. It's absolutely horrific. It's one of the reasons also why, like, one of the reasons I advocate for guns as, like, a thing. Guns aren't just a safety thing. Guns are also in terms of stuff, are very humane, comparatively. Because, like, as a human, I could use a saw, I could use a knife, I could use all sorts of weird weapons, or I could use a gun. A gun, pretty humane. Like, when it comes to a chimp, they're not humane at all. They're just ripping chunks of body parts. Yeah, like, it just... They're so crazy strong.
By
it's
2018,
scary.
the division was complete.
Because that's
Two
like the
groups,
chimp attacks that people have had, where, like, they just
no
get ripped
regular
apart.
Interaction.
It's
no
horrible.
mating between them. Then the violence began.
A series of events began which were amongst the most horrifying that we've seen at Gombe. The males of the larger Kasakela community systematically began to hunt down...
At least they've got, like, proper names. Well, like, proper, I guess, African names or something. Rather than calling them, like, McDonald's, the McDonald's clan, this clan, the Big Mac clan. That's also how you know that Americans aren't the ones doing the research on this, because we would definitely name them something ridiculous. Yeah.
Individuals of the smaller southern community to attack them when they found them on their own or in small groups. And within a 4-year period, every one of the 7 males and at least one of the 3 females who had moved to the south had disappeared.
Chimpanzees are capable of coalitionary violence. They form groups.
It's probably... This will probably sound really controversial, especially considering my background and things like that, but I have a feeling that the reason that they're actively doing this stuff isn't because of any kind of socialization thing. It's probably like the weird stuff that we've started noticing, like orangutan, I can't ever say it right. Orangutans. Orangutans. I'm from the South. I can't say it right. Beginning to get into the Stone Age and things like that. These guys are probably starting some kind of like weird proto-religion system. And that's probably why they're doing this. Because there's some kind of like weird social delineation that's happening, and they're disagreeing with each other on like some kind of bizarre proto-religion, because they all more or less look basically the same. They are all more or less related. They all basically speak the same language. They don't have border conflict concepts in the same manner that we do. They usually can kind of like, it's kind of like how wolves are, where they have like hard borders, and then every now and then, every several months, those kind of dissolve and they free flow everywhere and kind of hang out with each other. So it has to be something beyond that. And it's not food, it's not resources, it's not space, it's not anything. They're just doing this. And it's probably some kind of like almost Stone Age or pre-Stone Age type religion that's forming for them, which would be really weird and very, very interesting. Oh yeah, that would also be it, like a political collapse, I guess. Yeah, the two leaders who are holding everything together just dying off, and then they're like, well, there's no reason to hang out with each other now, I guess we should kill each other. I guess that could be it too. But I mean, there's weird behaviors that we've observed from chimpanzees that kind of indicate that they're beginning to do odd things.
Individuals
that they technically shouldn't be doing.
Numerical advantage. That behavior is usually directed outward towards neighboring communities. But here it wasn't. The targets were former group members. The attacks followed a pattern. Coalitions moved together and located isolated individuals.
It's always sad when that kind of happens.
Them. From 2021 onwards, infants were targeted more frequently.
There was one extremely horrifying day that the adult female Passion and her adolescent daughter Tom had seized a newborn infant, had killed the baby, and she and her daughter
It's so weird to see her so young
had shared the body
like
between
that.
them. And over the next 4 years, Passion and her daughter Pom were known to kill and eat 3 newborn babies.
Well, we tend not to do that because it's a taboo
they
now.
Tried but failed to catch 2 more.
And then it's also
and we suspect that in that 4 years,
has something to do with like our higher brain function.
10 newborn babies.
Because there's an inherent like
why did they do it?
Inbuilt disgust behavior that happens
an aberrant
with
behavior
cannibalism.
Shown first by the mother, imitated by the daughter. It was perhaps the hardest thing to understand and to accept. For instance, when Passion, together with Pom, attacked Melissa, Melissa's daughter Gremlin, much younger than Pom, ran over to the two field assistants.
Yeah, no, that's definitely why she was extra traumatized by that. Like, she had PTSD because of this. That now it makes way more sense. She was naming them specifically, like, yeah, no, that's probably like was probably horrible for her
looked
to have
into
to
their eyes,
observe
looked
this
back
nonsense.
At the scene, and really seemed to be begging for help.
Because when you name
but Passion and Pom were strong,
animals and then
they
something
managed
bad
to
happens
seize
to
the
them,
baby,
it
leaving
really
Melissa
messes you up.
terribly badly wounded. The moment they had the baby,
'Cause you begin,
and had killed it. When Melissa went up to watch, as
making
they
them
ate
more
it,
of a person
Passion
in your
reached
mind.
Out, embraced and kissed her, as though, I have no quarrel with you. I wanted your baby. Now I'm content. And as I say, we just do not understand this behavior.
Chimpanzees at this site had previously carried out lethal raids against neighboring groups. Those attacks expanded territory and improved access to resources. This did
the
not.
blood scene.
There was
Yeah,
no territorial
oh, he had to wash
gain,
it out probably because
no
of YouTube.
external
That's
threat,
so sad.
only a division
YouTube's
within
really
the group
jacked
itself.
up everything lately.
And at this point, the structure
That is a
starts
classic
to look
scene.
familiar. Not because chimpanzees explain human behavior, but because the pattern is simple. Groups don't always break apart through a single event. They drift. Not through one cause, but through accumulation.
The sequence of events that occurred during this warfare were really shocking because
Dude, he had
these
like
attacks
gallon,
were not
like
over
I think
in
it was
1
like over
minute. They lasted
50,000
20
gallons of
minutes.
fake
They were
blood.
gang attacks where between 3 and 6 adult males together attacked one victim. The victim was rendered senseless, virtually crouching on the ground, not
see.
even trying to fight back. And yet they would pound him, they would drag him, they would bite him, they would
Hundreds of
smash
gallons
him.
of
One of
blood.
them had
It
a
doesn't-
broken leg, one of them had a great piece
You
of
failed me,
skin
Google.
ripped from his thigh. Just because we now know how aggressive a chimpanzee can be, this makes him even more like humans than I thought they were before.
Trust shifts. Interpretations
no.
change.
I
Connections
think she's
weaken.
kind of wrong about that. They're less like humans. It's just that we are functionally more alike because we're social. And that because we're social, we'll tend to behave a certain way because it's an inevitable issue of having a functional social group. Yeah,
Someone who
some of
was
that stuff is
familiar
crazy. The amount of
becomes
planning
distant,
for it would have been
then
nuts.
difficult, then something else. From the inside,
Some of those
that
effects where they
change
had to
can
get it
feel
right,
justified,
like,
obvious.
on one go, or it was
From the
over.
outside, it's difficult to locate the moment it began, because there isn't always one moment, and by the time the division becomes visible, it's already taken hold. The study challenges a common assumption that large-scale conflict requires ideology. These chimpanzees had none. No shared belief system. No symbolic identity.
Well,
no
that we know
narrative
of. They
built
may
around
have a
what they
shared
were
belief
doing.
system.
But their social network still fractured. Boundaries formed. Chimp communities are structured to resist this outcome. They split and recombine. Relationships are continuously maintained. Permanent
Well, yeah, I mean,
divisions
like
are
we
rarely
don't
observed.
speak the same kind of language that they do. They basically have like a proto-form language that's primarily like a mix of body language and like weird signs and behaviors. So we don't actually know if they have like weird pseudo-religious beliefs or things like that. That's also one of the things with like the orangutan where it started doing like it started making tools because that like freaked out a lot of people, and then it was showing other orangutans how to do that as well, and they started copying it, which is kind of a big deal.
At this site, that
Because
process
with what we
failed.
understand, that shouldn't be possible.
Subgroups stopped reconnecting, key individuals were gone, avoidance replaced interaction, and once those connections stopped being rebuilt, the separation held. For decades, this community functioned as one. Individuals groomed each other, shared space, formed alliances across the group. Those connections sustained the structure. When they weakened, the structure changed. The same individuals who had lived side by side became enemies.
Oh, yeah.
By the end of the study, the two groups
They can
were
be used for
still
a lot of
separate.
stuff, but the
Attacks
problem is
continued.
that
two groups occupying the same
what they would want to
forest
do in their free time and things
without
like that.
coming back together.
Well, yes, I do believe we have innate.
Or if they go
tendency.
completely
I don't
off
honestly think you can look around
go
the
nuts.
world today and
That's pretty
deny
good.
that must be true. However, that doesn't mean that we have to.
Maybe we should do
continue in
like
this
a
mold
thing where
of
dudes just
aggression.
suggest YouTube videos.
We do have the ability to control our self.
I think they give them like treats as well as like some of the fruits if they want some of them. Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess I'll did I already subscribe to this? I think I did. Yeah, I'm already subscribed. It's pretty cool.
We usually...
I'll check out some of those other ones. Those are good. That was actually pretty great. Thanks for suggesting that. That's... Because that was actually something I was wanting to look up later, is more info about that. Because it's super interesting. Oh, actually, I've got more of the More of the different TCAP stuff I could pull up, like the specific videos. Oh yeah, no, it's no big deal. Because I'm always looking for like at least interesting things to kind of watch on YouTube, especially with like the completely whacked out timeline and things. Well, not timeline, but like work hour sleep schedule system that I've got going on. Okay, so I could do... Let's see. We've got Chuck Harding. That one's actually really disgusting and ridiculous. That one's actually really upsetting because it kind of shows one of the things that I've kind of complained about with Roman Catholicism as a thing. Could do one of the more recent True Blue episodes, I guess, because I've grabbed a couple of those. Oh, Anthony Palumbo. That one's hilarious. Dude, that one is so funny. That one is so funny. Because the dude is like, he gets caught, and then he's like desperate to convince Chris that he's not gay. And it's it's just the best. It's just the best. Because he's just constantly bringing up like, no, bro, I'm not gay, bro. I'm not gay. And it's like, no one's accusing you of that. We're just concerned that you're here to meet a child for, you know, inappropriate stuff, bro. Why do you care if people think that you're gay? Oh, that's so bad. Do I have... Where is it? Do I have the Mickey Mouse guy? I swear I had it. Did I get rid of it? Oh, no. I may need to start trying to, like, catalog some of these. Because I don't remember. Let me see. Oh, I don't know. Oh, no, nope. That's a compilation of effects. Dude. Oh, yeah, no, like, yeah, it's kind of like Kevin Spacey, but, like, he's, like, very heavily Italian, like an Italian-American, and it's honestly really funny, but it's also, like, kind of upsetting, because, oh, no, I have it. Jeff Stacy, the Mickey Mouse guy, that was the one that I was thinking about earlier. Let's do that one. That one's good. Turn that off. Well, that's very obviously doing copyright music. Actually, I need to revisit this because his wife killed him. And I need to go over that because that's super... It's so crazy. His wife killed him. This is well before he, like, even met his wife, but his wife killed him. She, like, I guess got him drugs, got him overdosed. Drugs that she stole from her job, because she's a nurse. And, like, there's still no criminal charges for it. And it's just like, bro, when are these gonna drop? Well, allegedly killed him. I should say that for legal reasons. But, you know, no one's getting prescription painkillers as a nurse from, you know, out of the ether. And then your husband happens to just die of that issue miraculously for no reason. And then you also attempt to burn down the house. You know, like, the whole situation was nuts. No, they were not. And that's probably what part of the problem was, is that they weren't doing well financially, I would imagine. Because either that or they had some kind of mitigating creative issue that created the addiction issue. And then that kind of just spiraled out of control.
I'm gonna go up and get ready, okay?
Okay.
Wait at the bar for like 5 minutes and then follow me up, okay?
Okay.
So you may not be able to tell by his voice, but he's putting on a voice. And there's a reason they call him the Mickey Mouse Predator. It's so good. It's so good.
Okay.
Oh, I should actually begin cataloging some of these especially if MSNBC is going to be pulling him off air.
Do me a favor and just have a sheet right over there on the other side.
Chris gets him immediately. So good. And actually, before we even get further into this, let's actually, this is something I've pointed out. Yeah, I think it's because they don't have, like, enough evidence, so they don't feel confident in being able to do it, even though it's very obvious that it's there. It's one of the things with, like, the American justice system that I kind of have a problem with, is at the very least, you know, we should be willing to just throw stuff at the wall to see if it sticks. Especially if it's very obvious how something came about, because we have Jeff dying of a drug overdose of prescription drugs that he does not have a prescription for. His wife is a registered nurse who had been caught stealing prescription drugs, who had access to these drugs, and then following his death, she attempted to burn down the house with his corpse in it. You know, it's all there. We don't really need insane, super hard evidence. Like, I don't need DNA. I don't need a video of her looking into the camera, explaining step by step what she's going to do and that she did it. There's been no explanation as far as I've been able to find. But it's also been a couple months since I tried to look into it, so maybe it's time to do it again and see. Because maybe they've gotten better headway on that. But, like, it's nuts. It's one of those things where, like, it's very obvious implicatively what happened, how it happened. Because regardless of whether or not you could get the murder charge to stick, you could definitely get her for distributing drugs, stealing drugs, and arson. And then mishandling a corpse, or failing to report a death at the very least. And it's one of these things where, like, the American justice system, we need better prosecutors, because even if you don't have absolute evidence, it's whether or not a jury will agree. And, you know, any idiot could present this case and just be like, bro, she did it. Even if they don't agree that she murdered him, she definitely gave him the drugs. She provided the means of providing the drugs. So she is at least partially responsible for his death. But he's called the Mickey Mouse Killer, Mickey Mouse Predator. But the other thing I wanted to point out is, like, this layout. So this is like part of a living room. So this is the front door, and you immediately have, like, a table. You've got, like, a china cabinet. You've got a bar in the middle of the living room as you walk into the house. In the foreground, back over here on this side. Oh, I can't see my mouse. Oh, there we go. You've got, like, a television set in the background, but it's not like a big TV. It's an old tube television, and it's really small. It's about the size of, like, a normal computer monitor. So, like, sitting at the bar, looking at it is just silly. You've got down further in this direction, in the bottom area, further down, you've got, like, sitting furniture. The entire layout of this living room entry area is just hellish chaos. It doesn't make sense. And this is something that is consistent with all of the bait houses, which I'm kind of surprised hasn't become, even, like, the modern ones on True Blue are kind of like this, where, like, they're either devoid of any kind of furniture, where you walk in and it's like an abandoned house, or you would walk in and it's like this nonsense is going on, and it's like, what is this? Who designed this? Where you would think that a normal person would walk in and then start getting, like, really freaked out.
How's it going?
All right.
But no.
Did you find a place to park okay?
Yeah.
This is also crazy, perplexing, to, so, like, he's not expecting, Jeff isn't expecting to meet anybody. He immediately runs into Chris, and he immediately, like, tries to compose himself, and it's, I want to know what he was thinking about this, because it's so weird.
What's your plan for tonight?
Nothing really.
Probably thinks it's the dad.
Who'd you come here to meet?
Some girl.
Some girl.
Some
whose
girl.
name is what?
Oh, man.
You can't even remember her
It's
name.
Amanda, I believe.
I don't remember.
Amanda? Sadie, maybe?
That was Amanda.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The reason he's confused is because he was talking to multiple chicks. Well, multiple fake chicks online. All of them were repeatedly the TCAP people, which is hilarious.
And how old is this girl you came here to meet?
I believe she's 18.
18.
Mm-hmm.
And what made you think she was 18?
Because I thought she said she was 18.
You want to try again?
Mm-hmm. That's what I thought.
That's not what she told you, is it?
I don't know.
Oh, man, it's been a while since I've read his transcripts for the stuff. I don't remember. Some of these dudes might actually... So, like, some of the dudes who end up on TCAP could have actually typically gotten away with some of this stuff if they just stuck with the, I guess I misread the thing. Like, they would have gotten a commuted... Possibly. The problem, though, is that, like, since it's partially part of it, like, an addictive behavior, they strive to just constantly escalate. And what was previously acceptable is never enough. Because at a certain point, their brain kind of gets used to it. So their brain starts demanding, like, more and more extreme versions of what it was that they had gotten used to. Because it's partially based in, like, an addiction behavior. It's not part of, like, a proper, like, sexual orientation thing. It's based in, like a weird behavioral addiction, and then also like an improper kind of socialization where it's more about abusing somebody than it is about, like, literally anything else, which is really weird. And I kind of wish people would go over that more when they talk about it, because once you start kind of, like, recognizing that and then seeing, like, how often the recidivism rate is, it becomes really clear that that's what the issue is. It's like an addiction, and then, like, improper psychosocial behaviors, like psychosexual social behaviors playing out with an addiction. And it's just not good.
Well, you can say that.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, and then the dressing thing. So you can't really tell because it's filmed with a potato. He's wearing, like, a... I don't know what they would have for you guys over in the UK, what the equivalent is. This is like a jacket made out of plastic. It's like a running jacket, like you would use when you're sprinting or whatever outside for exercise. Kind of like a raincoat, but it's, like, lighter weight than that. It's like for like exercising in, but not really. And, like, he's got just, his outfit's just bad. You think you're going on a, like, so you would go on a hot date with, like, a normal woman your own age. You know, you would try and dress up as nice as you can. You're in the middle of committing a crime. You don't want people to notice you. You don't want the other person to, like, report you after. And you dress like trash. Like, what is this? It's just bad. They always dress like slobs. I don't know why.
But I have the transcript of the conversation.
Okay.
And right up top,
it's so weird.
Says she's 15.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, the age thing. So, like, most of these guys, some of their transcripts aren't very super clear. So, like, if they had just stuck with the story of, I misread that, they probably just could have gotten probation. Especially in some cases. But they don't... Yeah, like, they don't view them as a person, which is immediately part of the problem. And then that leads into that behavior. But, like, some of these dudes, they don't stick with their story, or they aren't consistent with stuff. So, like, Because I think he brought up that he thought she was older, like 18, and the thing says 15. But I think later on in the transcript, it's been a while since I've read it, he acknowledges how old she was, so he's screwed. But this also isn't the first person from their team that he was talking to either.
How old are you?
21.
21.
Like, it's bad.
And why did you think it was appropriate or legal to come here to meet a 15-year-old girl home alone?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
You gotta have a better.
But now that he's also not trying to, like, keep his voice guarded, you can kind of
I
hear
didn't think she was 15.
something's wrong with his voice.
But that's not what it says here in
This
this.
is why he's called the Mickey Mouse Predator.
I read the whole thing, so you might as well just tell me.
I don't know. I really don't know. I thought she was 18.
It also, it's pretty worthwhile to do it that way as, like, part of an interview thing, because then you're exerting authority without, like, being pushy in, like, a weird way, and people tend to fold to that. Like, Chris is 100% got, like, the interview practice for this down to just get people to fold. He's so good at it. And I think that's also why True Blue, like, they're just letting him do whatever he needs to, because with the police, that police department, because they recognize that he's basically an expert interrogator at this point for this stuff, and it's insane. Like, he can usually get dudes to fold within, like, 2 or 3 minutes. Like, it's crazy.
What's that say right there?
Whereas if you had a cop, it would take, like, over an hour.
15. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
it's really good.
Isn't that a little convenient that all of a sudden you're sitting here talking to me and you don't remember?
No, it happened probably last night.
Whole 24 hours ago.
So,
Just 24 hours. Yeah, it's basically a mind trick. Well, because that's also like the take your hands out of your pockets, don't reach into your pockets thing. That is actually definitely a mind trick thing, at least over here in the U.S., because culturally we're so socialized to that's something that a police officer would say to you. So, like, immediately, if some dude tells you that and you're in the middle of doing something you're not supposed to, you immediately, like, part of your brain clicks on, and you're like, that guy's a cop. And, like, you'll just become compliant like an idiot without even thinking about it. Which is why he does that. It's so good. Like, some of the stuff is literally just about, like, minor requests and just being moderately, like, paternal or presenting that way, and then people will just fold. It's crazy. Well, catching predators turn out to be... Oh, no, that... Well, to a certain degree, it's because they, you've got dudes who are, like, trying to present themselves as, like, way more moral than they actually are. So they'll start doing... It's like a weird mirroring behavior. It's kind of a weird thing, because you see that, too, happen a lot with cops, where you've got, like, the one cop who's really good at doing drug busts, but then they get caught later on down the road having like been a drug addict the whole time, and they're constantly stealing drugs from people and things like that. It's primarily because it's like a mirroring behavior, and then so they can get, like, praise out of
Where
it.
did you come from tonight?
Lebanon.
I'm sorry?
It's kind of like a
Lebanon.
weird
Say
human
again?
thing.
Lebanon.
And where's that?
Oh, Lebanon. He's pronouncing it all weird because they're up in the north. It should be Lebanon, because, like, down here in the south, there's a Lebanon, Texas, and we pronounce it as Lebanon, like Lebanon the nation, Lebanon in the Middle East. But apparently up north, they just say things weirdly for no reason.
Cincy.
In Cincinnati. How far did you drive?
I don't know, maybe an hour.
An hour. And what's your name?
Actually, an hour isn't too bad, at least for American standards, because usually for driving across the city or something, that's like an hour. 45 minutes, an hour. Major city, it's going to be about that long. So that's not too bad. I kind of forgot that Jeff only drove, like, barely an hour. Some of the other dudes, though, who drive like 6+ hours or something, you know that something crazy.
Jeff, what's your last name?
Something crazy going on.
And what do you do for a living, Jeff?
Work at a deli.
You work at a deli.
He
And
works
you
at a
often
deli.
chat with underage girls online?
Oh.
How old was Jeff? I don't remember. Let me look that up real quick. Jeff Stacy. Was I calling him Kelly? I think I was calling him Kelly for this whole time. No, Jeff Stacy. I knew the last name was a girl's name, okay? I kind of got it messed up. Yeah, 27-year-old deli worker. There we go. So he was kind of not going places back then, which was not great. Yeah, there tends to be a behavior for that, but the other issue with that too is that it also kind of showcases. So like at least with 90% of these cases, like with To Catch a Predator or any of the Chris Hansen or Sting type things, it's all 99% of the legal casework is based around intent. So the further and longer they have to drive, the more stuff that they brought with them, the showing up, any of that kind of stuff is an acknowledgement of intent, and it means that they're guilty. So like the further these guys ended up having to drive in some cases, like the one of the dudes I remember drove like over 6 hours. That's a massive amount of intent, and it was way out of the way. It wasn't like it was involved with something else that he was doing. There are a bunch of other ones, though, where like dudes were part of like an apprenticeship program. They went to the town, and then they immediately got arrested. Oh, that's the dude with the speech impediment. That one's great. That one's so good. I need to download that one. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, because he's like a serial killer. Because they keep hinting that he's a serial killer, and they just never fully go into it.
No. So this is your first time?
You do it on a boat. You do this on a boat because of the implication. I need to sit down and rewatch that.
I would say, yeah, you probably do, but this is.
This is what?
This is the first time I've ever met anybody.
This is the
offline.
first time I've ever done any of this. That's why you guys have talked to me multiple times. So they had actually spoken to him multiple times with multiple other decoys. This is just the one that he happened to show up for. And, like, this was not the first time. And then, in terms of, like, criminal behavior, you don't just do something one time. You know, you kind of have to escalate up to it, get to that point, and then be comfortable enough with doing it as a repeated functional behavior. Oh, yeah. Just open the trunk, and there's, like, just a saw, rope, zip ties, crazy stuff.
Now, it
It's a
seems
full
like you're
kill kit,
having
but
some
people are
memory
like, no,
trouble
this is
tonight,
totally
so
normal.
I'm going to remind you of some of the things you said in the conversation. You ask her if she's a virgin.
I ask everybody all kinds of stuff. It's just talk.
Do you sleep naked?
What's wrong with what?
What's wrong with that? I ask everyone if they sleep naked. You just run up to some random person that you don't know and ask them if they sleep naked.
Asking questions.
I just ask questions, man.
Well, some of the questions are pretty graphic. You going to be naked when I show up?
Right? Like, it's just...
Legs spread and I will blank you right away.
Okay. So I said that stuff.
Then you say, oh, you're not a cop, are you?
Oh, yeah, because he's one of these retards.
Because I had people who were drunk friends, and they say that if you ask that they have to tell you.
Cops have to tell you if they're a cop. No, they don't. No, they do not have to tell you. Ideally, though, if they're beginning to affect an arrest, you should demand to know if someone is a police officer to make sure whether or not you're being kidnapped. Because if someone's not a cop and they're just like, I'm going to arrest you, you should fight. Now, like, there's a huge difference between locker room talk and, like, this stuff that he was saying in his stuff. Like, it's definitely different. Very, very different. Oh, man. Like, Jeff gets really explicit. It's bad.
You have people who are what?
I used to have friends that were druggies.
I got druggy
That's what they
friends.
said.
Druggies. So the druggies told you that if you ask over the internet if they're police, they have to tell you.
Yeah.
So that's what you did.
Mm-hmm.
And why were you worried that it might have been a police officer?
Yep. Which is also a problem. It's actually one of the reasons why, to a certain degree, like, when it comes to certain types of policing, they need to stop allowing dudes to not be properly identifiable. And I don't mean, like, that I should be able to see their face or things like that. I mean that they have to have at least, like, a patch or something that indicates openly that they're a police officer. Same thing with their vehicles. You know? Because we're getting to a point socially where, like, having their faces out in the open and things like that is dangerous. But when it comes to, like, what they're wearing, it needs to designate that they're a police officer, that they have a arrest authority. Because a lot of the stuff is getting real sketchy, especially with people being able to just buy things and then install them in their vehicles. Because they've had issues with dudes having fake cop cars, basically. Yeah, cool. See you later, man. Thanks for checking in. That was a cool video. I'll definitely see about checking out more of his stuff later. Get back to this and eating some of these snacks, or at least trying them.
I ask everybody.
I ask everybody if they sleep naked. Oh, Jeff, no. Don't do this, Jeff.
Just out of habit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You too, man.
Well, doesn't that indicate that you're worried that if it was a police officer, you could get in trouble for what you were doing?
No, because I ask that to everybody.
To everybody. So you spend your time on the internet at night asking people whether or not they're cops.
Dude, you could get in way more trouble asking weird sexual questions to a cop than just, like, having normal conversation. There's no reason to do this, Jeff.
Whether or not they sleep naked, whether or not you can perform sex acts on them.
Mm-hmm.
You do this all the time.
It's talking. It's
Talking.
not-
Yeah, but the difference tonight, Jeff, is that you went from talking to showing up at this house where you...
Functionally, though, Jeff is actually making, like, a halfway worthwhile and coherent. This is a weird piece of candy. I don't know if I like that. Jeff is at least making, like, a halfway coherent and sensible argument here. He's just not very articulate, and he's not very smart. So he's not presenting it very well. Where he's delineating between, like, reality and the internet, and how one of these things is real and the other is not, so behaving a certain way is perfectly reasonable on the other. The problem is that that's not really how things work, and that's not how this goes. Primarily because you don't cease being you when you get on the internet. You're still you, and you're still accountable to the things that you do.
thought a teenage girl was home alone. An underage girl.
I didn't know.
You didn't know what?
That she was underage.
She told you.
Do you want to go through the exercise again where we talk about what age is right here in the chat?
No, because I don't remember.
You don't remember?
I don't remember seeing the age.
Then why were you so worried about whether or not this was a police setup?
Which is also a great indication that he knew what the age was. You wouldn't be concerned about whether or not the person is a cop if they're of legal age. That would be a really weird thing you know, oh, hey, you're 37. We're going to meet up for adult activities. By the way, are you a police officer? No reason. I'm very concerned about if you're a police officer. You know, that's such a weird thing to be concerned about unless you're hoping to engage in some kind of form of criminal activity.
Because I ask that to everyone.
I ask everyone that. Oh.
You ask her if she's horny.
What's wrong with that?
She's 15, bro. And you know she's 15.
You ask if she does anal.
It's a question.
I ask everyone that. Everyone I meet, I ask them that.
I know, but you're asking a question to someone who identified themselves as an underage girl. And in this state,
bro,
depending on the circumstances.
This also shows that there's like some kind of weird something else that I actually have thought about that shows there's a like weird mental disconnect. Jeff is not concerned at all. Okay? Like he's not melting down. He's not shaking. He's not losing his composure. This isn't worrisome to him. This isn't scary. This isn't anything. And then we have Chris here. Okay? Chris is presenting himself, at least mostly, and typically he tends to present himself and mostly as, you know, I'm the dad. Someone's dad comes out and confronts you that you are going to be preying on them, and like they're pissed and they've got everything documented. That's the point when you should be afraid. You should be terrified. You know, whether or not you did something wrong or not, you should be really worried. And this also kind of shows that Jeff is like on another planet. He doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't seem to care. He's disconnected from reality. Because typically, especially like this situation, the fake person's 15, you've been caught trying to prey on them. You know, this is one of those setups where like the dad is gonna beat the shit out of you. You're gonna end up dead in a ditch. And Jeff is just not concerned at all. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, what's going on? Is Jeff just so completely inert to this because he's so used to doing these types of things that this isn't an issue to him? Or is it because Jeff literally is just completely detached from reality and doesn't understand that what he did is actually wrong? It's harmful.
It's against the law to say it on there.
It's against the law to solicit an underage girl for sex. Yes.
That's not what if that's what it was, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
You also sent this picture of yourself.
Yes, I know.
That's you. And then you sent these pictures too.
Oh yeah, those pictures.
Yeah.
Who are they? What's all that?
Those are hilarious. So he like photoshopped his head onto like male models to try and make it look like he was super ripped.
Just phony pictures.
Just phony pictures.
Those are just
how
funny
did you
pictures,
cut the heads
man.
off?
I didn't. I just found them that way.
And you were trying to make believe that was you, or what was the purpose of that?
I don't know. It's just talk. If I'm not really ever, I mean, it's nothing.
Doesn't seem to fit there.
I know it doesn't.
So what were you trying to do with all this?
Nothing.
What were you going to do if you had showed up here and a girl was here and I was not? What would have happened?
Probably a whole lot of nothing.
A whole lot of nothing.
Maybe a kiss or two, but probably wouldn't go
That's
farther.
why I showed up, because nothing was going to happen.
Did you bring condoms with you tonight?
No. Didn't plan on it. Didn't plan on doing that.
Okay, that's one of those trick questions. You're not supposed to answer that. Just like with the, what do you think should happen to you? These are trick questions. And it's to help gauge, like, how bad and, like, how out of control this person is. And Jeff just failed that.
Did you bring alcohol in your car?
No.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Check my car. I don't care. There's no alcohol in my car.
But after all this sex talk,
It's just talk to me.
all this graphic chat, you expect us to believe that you had no plan
Nope, I didn't.
of having sex with this guy?
No, really, I didn't. Didn't bring alcohol. I didn't bring drugs. I didn't do any of that.
Yeah, but what you're saying now conflicts with what you said online.
It's online, though.
So you just made it all up. All play, all chat.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is, Jeff, you showed up.
Yeah, you shut up, bro.
I didn't know it was wrong to show
And
up.
that shows intent.
I didn't know it was
To
wrong
follow
to
up
commit
on
a
what you
crime.
talked about over the internet.
I didn't know that was... I wasn't intending to do it. It's just talk to me.
It's just
Just
talk.
talk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Do you do this all the time
Yeah.
on the internet?
Sometimes, yeah.
Are
Bro.
you addicted to the internet?
No.
Do you do this sometimes? Well, do you do this all the time? Yes, sometimes. So, you know, like what I was saying, it's a slow behavioral escalation until he's comfortable with doing certain things because it's part of an addictive behavioral process. Paired off with like bad like social sexual behavior. And let's plug this thing in, because I fell asleep with my Steam Deck running and forgot to plug it back in. My bad. My bad. Okay, back to the video.
How often do you talk on it?
I don't know. Every day, maybe.
Every day.
It's just talking.
it's just talking, man.
I don't see
I'm committing crimes,
the internet
federal
and real life are
crimes.
two different things.
But it's just talk.
What says on the internet doesn't mean that's what I really think.
Yeah, see,
Well, that would
he's
be
going for that
easier to
argument that the
believe,
internet is
Jeff,
not
if
real,
you didn't show up
which is,
here tonight.
you know,
Where you
honestly,
thought
like a good
young
attempt.
girl was home alone.
That's a good
I
run.
really didn't.
It's a good try.
I knew she was
Why
alone.
would you be here?
I mean, I knew she was alone, but that doesn't mean much to me.
That don't mean much to me. I'm just here.
You're
to
an
get my-
adult. She's a child.
I'm just here to get my nut.
Okay.
There are laws protecting children.
Okay.
Bro.
Do you get that?
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you get why teen girls at a certain age cannot give consent legally?
He does not know.
Yes.
Okay. So you
Well,
understand
I mean,
why there's a
by
problem.
answering all these questions, too, he's completely
So what do
screwing
you think
himself,
should
which is
happen to you?
hilarious.
I really don't know.
Why don't you help me out here?
I mean, I'm sorry if all this happened. I'm sorry all this...
I'm
It's
sorry
really
I've
a
done all this retarded stuff.
A misunderstanding.
I really did not intend on anything, really. Maybe meet to her, talk to her.
But come on. You know what you
But it's,
said.
I do know what I said on there. But that's what I'm saying. It's just talk to me.
Jeff, do you ever watch television?
Sometimes.
You ever watch Dateline NBC?
No.
I'm Chris Hansen, and I'm a reporter for Dateline NBC. And we're doing a story on adults who try to meet teens on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anything else you'd like to tell us, we'd like to hear it.
Hilarious.
Nope.
If not, you're obviously free to walk out that door.
Oh, yeah, he, like, immediately leaves. He doesn't even question whether or not he's getting arrested or anything. He probably has absolutely no idea. You know? Probably has absolutely no clue. Until it was happening. It's absolutely crazy, you know?
Can you hear me? What's your name? Jeff? Jeff? How old are you, Jeff? Say that
How
again.
old are you? Oh.
You're 29? 25.
No, he's 29.
You
He's
think?
lying.
How old are you?
than his
in jail.
His nonsense.
God,
So
you're going to be
the interrogation. It's completely like, I mean, it's interesting for the tape, for the sake of the tape, but you know, it's basically the same old nonsense of the dude being dramatic. My life is over, and just losing his mind. Oh, this has been pretty good. We went for about 2 hours and 41 minutes. I think we're going to look at getting set up now to play Legends Arceus. So we will get that done, and we will be back in less than 30 minutes, and we'll be playing that for, I guess, at least 8 hours or so. So see you guys in a bit. This has been reasonably fun. A lot of these snacks are pretty good. These are pretty good, but I'm not a fan of all of them. I don't like that red bean paste. That was not my thing. Oh, drink? Yeah. Let's do that. But I think I'm going to get going. I'll be back in about 30 minutes, and we'll play Legends Arceus and continue working on our Professor Oak's challenge. So, close out. See you guys then in a little bit. Get more coffee. Maybe another sake, because those are like one-shot drinks. Those are pretty good. Those are not bad. All right. Later.